I want to get a sense of how worried you are about Disney's DTC product. I mean, in a year, will you be more worried about Disney's DTC product or Fortnite, which has competed against Netflix for eyeballs?
Actually, Melissa, so you're making a big point, which is that there's a lot of competition for Netflix. Anything that takes away from entertainment dollars and time would be a competition for Netflix. I think Disney is a very legitimate competitor to Netflix. I'm really curious about how they package this offering, what price points they put out there. My guess is in order to really be competitive with Netflix, they probably need to come in somewhere in that $8 to $10 a month range, but we'll see. It also depends on how well it's packaged, how well it's marketed, but Disney's a great company. You would expect a good offering. I think there's a couple of key points here. There's two in particular. You are seeing the unbundling of the cable TV bundle. So you're starting to see an accelerating decline in pay TV subscribers, and people are switching over to these a la carte services. And our survey work suggests that 60% of U.S. consumers would be willing to pay for at least two streaming services. So our strong guess is that Netflix is going to be one of them. So to answer directly your question, no, I don't think that the long thesis on Netflix changes just because Disney's about to launch a competing service.
Hey, Mark, though, I mean, there's a lot of confusion about how much detail we get. You saw the Apple presentation, got people excited to some degree, but we didn't actually get specifics. What do you really expect?
Well, I think the Apple, from a Netflix perspective, I think the Apple presentation was actually pretty disappointing. There weren't a lot of specifics. There wasn't a price point, and it was almost like in software, you'd call that a vaporware event, where you didn't actually have new details on new shows. You had a lot of, obviously really important actors and directors up on stage, but you didn't get the details that you wanted. So it was kind of an on-the-come announcement. I don't know. I would hope that Disney would do a better job than Apple did. I thought Apple was disappointing.
I want to ask you, Mark, about how Reed Hastings addressed competition coming. I mean, you pointed this out in one of your notes, but on the last conference call, you said in the U.S., as an example, there's 1 billion hours of TV content being consumed daily. Right now, we're winning 10% of it. So, the takeaway there is that there's still a lot of TV hours out there for other people to win, like a Disney. But you did say just now that $8 to $10 in a bundle would be very competitive. Would that actually take away from Netflix? I mean, how are we viewing that billion hours of content and the overlap of that content between Netflix and a Disney?
Let me try two things. First is that I think there are about 1 billion paid cable TV subs worldwide, and number of streaming subs, paid streaming subs worldwide, is probably in the 200 to 250 million range. It's hard to know for certain, but it's somewhere in that range. And our guess is that those two numbers are going to meet over time. You're going to have the paid cable TV sub numbers declining or stagnant, and the streaming subs are going to rise. It's one of the reasons why I think you could still get a double or a triple in the total number of Netflix subs worldwide. They've got about 150 million today. We think that goes to 300 million within 3 to 5 years. So think about that as the opportunity. And then in terms of hours, you're well over 2 hours per a Netflix sub per month. That's on almost on a daily basis. I think that can continue to rise, but modestly from here.
Hey, Mark, very, very quickly, because we have to run. What do you think the total number in the United States, the average American family will spend on all these services combined? The bundle, unbundled, exclusive, take out the actual broadband piece, because I think people are wondering how many of these services can actually make it.
Oh, shoot. That's a damn good question. And my guess is that you're doing something like 50 to $100 a month or something like that, all in entertainment spend. My guess is that number's probably a little higher than that, but something in that range. So Netflix would come in there and take about 15 of those dollars from you.